Hey guys, so as you can tell by the thumbnail, today I'm going to be doing a cheetah print makeup look. And if you guys found this video, thank you so much. And if you could like and subscribe, that'd be really appreciated because I just got a new channel kind of like a couple weeks ago. So I'm trying to grow, and just anything to support me will be really appreciated. So I'm just going to start by doing all my face makeup, and then I'll get back to you guys because we're going to look more into the eyes today. Alright, so now that my face is setting, we're going to get closer and we're going to start doing my eyebrows. As usual, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in the color Taupe, and I'm going to be pairing it with the Anastasia Beverly Hills brush that's meant for eyebrows and the clear brow gel. So I'm taking the dip brow and I put it on my brush, and I'm going from the front to make a guideline to the very end of my brow where I want it to end. Right there. Then I'm going to make another guideline on the top, and I'm not going to start at the front, I'm going to start almost in the middle but not quite, and then I'm going to work my way down to the end of it to make the tail. And then I'm going to fill in these parts so that it's nice and blended, make it look even, and I want it to be lighter in the front than the back because it looks more natural that way. Now my other brow is done off cam. So this is an Infallible Full Wear Concealer, and it's in the shade Ivory. It's L'Oreal Paris. And I'm just going to go underneath my brows to cut them with the concealer and make them look more perfected. I do this underneath the brows, and I'm also going to go ahead and go above the brows right after this. Kind of looks messy, but I kind of just start up there and then work my way down until I've made them the right thickness that I like, and I make sure that I make the tail sharp at the end how I like them. After this, I'm going to be blending them with my fingers, and then I'm going to be applying the clear brow gel from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Then I just took the color Up Front from the Morphe palette that I'm using, and this Morphe palette is called 350 Nature Glow, and I'm just going to take this light shade, it's going to be my base shade, and I'm putting it all over my lids, kind of heavy layer, and just making my lids all a neutral color. Now I'm just going to apply some tape underneath my waterline up to where I want the line to be when my eyeshadow is applied. Now I'm just taking this color here, and it's called Hay, and I'm going to apply it on my crease and kind of above that as well and blend it out really evenly. This is going to be my transition shade, and it's just a lighter version of the color I'm going to be using. And then I'm going to take this color here. The shade's called Sting, and I'm going to be darkening the outer corner and just bringing it in a little bit on the sides, and I think I'm going to end up going over my crease with this color as well to make it a little bit darkened. The more you work in with your brush, the more blended it's going to end up. So now I'm taking this shade here, and it's called Burnt Spice, and I'm going to be making the outer corner the darkest I want it to be. I think this is the darkest color I'm going to be using for the oranges. I'm just going to apply it on there and blend that out as well into the other colors that I've used. I kind of put it in my crease as well, and now I'm grabbing this shade called Dude, and I'm putting it in little blotchy areas so that I can make the base for my cheetah print design. I'm putting them everywhere that I want to put an actual print on it. I packed it on pretty tightly so that it would show up darker and you'd be able to tell the difference between the color of the print and the background eyeshadow. I made sure to apply some close to the tape line that I made because I wanted it to give almost an effect of wearing eyeliner, because it's going to be a straight line after, and I want to make sure that there's some there, and when I cut with the tape, when I take the tape off, you'll see the line. Now I'm going in with just an e.l.f. eyeliner, and I'm surrounding the actual prints with black, and I'm going over them making the actual prints not fully like circles, but kind of C-shaped designs and making it look more like cheetah print. So I'm coming in here with the same eyeliner and I'm just going to make these little weird shapes to fill in the gaps because I felt like it needed more, and usually cheetah print isn't just cheetah, it has like little, not polka dots, but just shapes, and I just added them in everywhere that looked like it needed more. You could probably tell I added a few more cheetah prints just where I felt like it needed it. Now I'm using the same concealer as before and I'm cutting my crease. So I usually just pack it on in the inner corner, and I look up so that it hits the top where it's going to hit anyway, and it stops it from making a mess later on if it's going to spread. So I just fill that in a nice little half circle and I tap it in with my finger to blend it. Now I'm just taking the shade that I used called Up Front and I'm just blending it in here in the inner corner so that it looks lighter and whiter, just more neutral toned than like glossy. I'd rather it be matte, so I have it matte here. I'm packing it in so that the shade I put on top will appear better. So now I'm going to be taking the orange that I used earlier and I'm going to be blending it out to from my outer corner into almost like the crease area, but still in the outer corner. I make like a diagonal, as I said in my first video. I just kind of blend it up to this point here, as you can see. Now I'm taking the shimmery color called Glow Girl and I'm just packing it in on the inner corner. This is why I put the first color in nice and tight there so that this shimmer would show up really nicely. I pat it a lot. Sometimes if your glitter isn't sticking, you can use a setting spray to help you stick it on, and I sometimes do that as well. So now I'm taking the shade right here called Dude, and it's the same one that I used to make the cheetah print base, and I'm just gonna be applying it almost like an eyeliner. It's kind of a dark brown, but it appears lighter when you're using it as an eyeliner, and it just looks more natural and matches the actual design more than if I were to use a black liner, and it's matte instead of glossy. So just applying that now. I keep the tape on for this part because this is the part where I want it to really look sharp there. The darker it is in that corner there, it's going to be way better when I take off the tape. Now the tape's off and you can clearly see the line that it's made. So I'm coming back in with this Burnt Spice orange color and I'm blending it in with the same brown brush that I just used like with the last eyeshadow. So that's a little bit tinted, and I'm just going in to soften that line a little bit and to fill the underneath of my eyes. Also going to take some of a darker color after to go back over top of that line. So I'm taking the same shade Dude, but I'm also mixing it with the color Cafe because Cafe is a little bit of a darker shade. Now I'm grabbing this color here and mixing it with the other orange, and I'm filling in my inner corner underneath my eye and just blending it out with the other colors that I've used on the outer corners of underneath my eye. Just curling my eyelashes here so that when I apply my false lashes that they're in line with each other instead of my eyelashes being straight and my fake lashes coming up. So I'm taking this mascara called Bad Gal Bang, and it's my favorite one, so you should definitely go buy it. It's probably like $32. I don't really remember that well, but it's my favorite. Always makes my eyelashes look super long, and I don't see it's clumpy. A couple people have said it is, but I think that's if you just apply too much of it. So I like to just apply a thin, even coat, and it makes my lashes look so long and fuller. Now I'm just wiping off my foundation from my lips, and I'm going to be going in with Aquaphor, and this is just the best chapstick ever. I think I only spent $14 on it at a Shoppers, and honestly it just makes your lips so smooth and it lasts, and it's just amazing for a lot of different things. And now I'm just going in with a brush and brushing off all of the excess powder that's been on my face, baking, and kind of blending in the contour lines that I made earlier, making my face look a little more smooth and perfect. Now I'm going in with this quote blush, and it's called Blush Duo. The shade is Just Blush. I'm just putting it on the balls of my cheeks and blending it on my nose. I put a lot on my nose because it kind of contours it in my shade more than bronzer would. So this is just a highlighting palette from Quo, and it's just highlight and glow. And I like to take the golden shade and put it on my nose, the bridge of my nose, under my brows, above my cupid's bow. Like to put it on the top of my chin, the top of my cheekbones, and I do put some on my forehead as well, which some people do and some people do not, but personally I think it looks good on my skin. Now I'm just applying Blinded by the Light Love Light Too Faced highlighter, and I'm just putting it in my inner corners to make them a little bit more illuminated, and then underneath my brow bones to make them a little bit more lighter because the gold looks darker on my skin. And now I'm just applying this Academy of Color High Pigment Liquid Gloss in the shade Girl Talk, and I'm just making it perfectly apply to my lips so that it's even. Lastly, I'm applying this Mario Badescu spray, and it's just facial spray with aloe, cucumber, and green tea, and I just use it as a setting spray. If you like this look, then like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next Monday. Bye!